So who was the person who told you not to talk with our staff after you gave this interview where you gave us this information?
I was advised by the Assistant Secretary Boswell, his office, his staff, that all requests for information and documents would need to be vetted or routed through that office.
Did those same individuals help you prepare today's testimony?
In the sense of providing general guidelines on how.
Did they tell you they wanted to look it over before you came in front of this committee and gave it today?
Of course.
And did they write it for you?
No, they did not.
That was Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio grilling Regional Security Officer Eric Nordstrom during today's hearing held by the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. It's been almost a month since Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans were killed on an attack in our consulate in Libya, and we haven't done anything. Since that day, the only thing we have had are various explanations from the White House about exactly what went down in Benghazi on the evening of September 11th. Congressman Jim Jordan is here to tell us what happened at today's hearing. Yeah. Congressman, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Good to be with you.
You know, there's a couple of questions that I'm really curious to find out. First of all, who orchestrated the response? Where did the president get his response and his belief that this was all about a video?
You know, great question, Glenn. But what we did find out about in this hearing is it had nothing to do with the video. This was a terrorist attack. That came through loud and clear. The 2 gentlemen who were on the ground in Libya unequivocally said this was a terrorist attack. Even Ambassador Kennedy has said it looked and felt like a terrorist attack shortly after the incident took place. So this is a terrible tragedy, and the administration's explanations. Look, in my judgment, politics trumps security here. I mean, Glenn, there were 230 security incidences in Libya in the 13 months prior to September 11th. 230. And on the 231st, we're going to blame a video? Come on. Okay. Repeatedly, the guys on the ground asked for additional security personnel, and they were denied their request. So this has all the markings of politics trumping security and security risk that were there.
Congressman, here's what I think we're missing 2 things. One, with security being so bad, why was the ambassador in Benghazi in the first place? That's the worst place he could have been. What was he doing without security there? Did we get that answer?
You'd have to ask the State Department directly that, but my guess is they would say something to, this is where the uprising and the overthrow of the government kind of was headquartered. They were in there to begin to hopefully move Libya in the right direction. But the State Department had to give you that answer. What we do know, and what the hearing, clearly pointed out was there wasn't the security personnel there who needed to be there, that the guys on the ground, the experts. In my questioning, I asked them, the 2 people back in Washington who are testifying today, they've never been to Libya. These other guys had been there for months at a time. They had seen the things. They had witnessed what was going on. They showed pictures of the attempt on the United Kingdom's ambassador. On and on it went. And the people who hadn't been there denied the request of the people who were there, who knew how serious the situation was.
Okay.
That's the real tragedy. And unfortunately, we lost Ambassador Stevens and 3 other Americans.
Okay. So, again, I think we're dancing around it. The president comes out and the State Department, the ambassador to the UN, comes out and they unequivocally say it is the film. Is there any reason, did anyone give the State Department or did anyone give the White House that reason to believe that it was the film? If
all
not,
we got today was,
go ahead.
All we got today was the line that, based on the information they had at the time, that's why Secretary Rice made the statement she did. But her statement, if you go back and look at it, she said, in fact, this is attributable to the video. Well, there's no way that's the case. Again, I think many of our members made that very clear in the questioning and the statements that were provided to the committee today. But that's what the administration says.
Congressman, I don't know if you've seen our documentary called The Project, or if you know what the Muslim Brotherhood Project is, but it is a document made by the Muslim Brotherhood where they have a checklist of all the things that have to be done to overtake the West. It was found in a terrorist raid. In the first part of it was found in 2001. The second part was found in 2004.
Wow.
You guys in Congress have had a hard time even get a copy of it. It has been used in the terror trial for the Holy Land Foundation. It clearly lays out what has to happen. The president has brought Muslim Brotherhood people in around him, and he has supported the Muslim Brotherhood. One thing that is left on their checklist is to get people to make it illegal to say anything bad about Islam. It's curious to me that nobody is saying that this was the video. There's no evidence that this was the video. Right. That's not even it didn't even come up at all. It is clearly a terrorist attack. Why did the president check the box and then go to the UN and try to get, again, people of the world to say, yes, we shouldn't speak out badly about Islam? Where did this come from?
Glenn, your guess is as good as mine, because as I've said a couple times here and as was clear in the committee, the evidence points totally to this being a not a spontaneous cause action by a video, but totally to a planned terrorist attack. And there were two. Now, this is what's amazing to me. There were 230 of these instances, security incidences before this. At what point don't you say, "Come on, this is serious. Put more people there and protect our assets"?
So where does this go from here?
Well, there are going to be more hearings. There has to be. And frankly, I think it's important that Secretary Rice come in front of Congress. I don't know if it'll be the Oversight Committee. I'm not sure which committee it'll be, but she needs to come and testify to Congress why she went to the American people. Now, the American people, look, they understand investigations take time. What they don't appreciate is when someone comes out and says something that is clearly not accurate. So she needs to come in front of Congress and explain why she went on television the Sunday after this terrible tragedy and said the things she did, and continued to point to a video as the catalyst for this terrible tragedy in Libya.
Congressman, keep up the good work and stay on this story. I'm telling you, the ambassador should not have been there. There's something wrong that he was in Benghazi. That's your first clue. And the second is, who gave this storyline to the president? That's what needs to be found out, because it is the Muslim Brotherhood's plan.
I agree completely.
Thank you very much.
We need to find it out.
Appreciate it. God bless.
You bet.